True North, strong and free. Words every Canadian knows, but are we living by our creed? Our charter? Seems like we're pushing against it. Let's discuss this a little more. Now, it seems like Canada is just getting less and less free. For example, Bill C-10, which is proposed to block essentially podcasters, maybe even YouTube channels like this, from being able to post anything without the Canadian government first reviewing it. Now, this goes on top of Bill C-11, which has already come into play, which, as you know, if you have social media, if you have Instagram, Facebook, you cannot see certain news, and if you want to share news, it's impossible. Now, this is all done in disguise to help out broadcasters and newscasters to get their fair share, to get their fair pay, that if you're going to share their content, they have to be paid. And if you can't do that, then you can't share it. Now, obviously, a big conglomerate like Facebook has said, we don't know how we're going to be able to pay you guys. It's too complicated. So we're just going to block you guys from being able to share news on Facebook and Instagram in Canada. It's just easier for us. We're out of here. And Google is not too far behind thinking that they're going to block it as well, not being able to look up certain types of news, certain types of American news, Canadian news, and they're just going to block it all as well. Now, the waters are getting kind of muddy, but what's weird and suspicious is that this is all done kind of during the pandemic, but kind of into play after the pandemic now, and in an upcoming election year where Trudeau, if you want to put your conspiracy hat on, your tinfoil hat on, by blocking certain news and only allowing CBC, CTV, all the Canadian news that is, as you know, already left-leaning, pro-Trudeau, pro-liberal, only allowing them to be seen, that doesn't sound like true north, strong and free. Sounds a lot like Soviet Russia. It doesn't sound like a free country, a free democratic country where we're able to have free speech, read what we want, say what we want without consequence. Now, Elon Musk has already criticized Justin Trudeau specifically for even the implementation of Bill C-11, let alone Bill C-10 or what's coming, and that under Bill C-11, the CRTC intends to have streaming platforms like YouTube and Netflix have the algorithm kind of altered so that it pushes more Canadian content rather than American content or worldwide content. Canadian content is first and foremost. Now, I get it. It kind of sounds pro-Canada, but let's be real, dude. A lot of Canada shit is garbage. Okay, we're a very, very small country. Most of the good movies, most of the good TV shows, a lot of the good podcasts, Joe Rogan, all these big podcasts are American-based. And if he starts messing with YouTube, starts pissing off Netflix, it's going to be pretty weird living in Canada where we can't see some of these major news, some of these major free thinkers. We're only going to be force-fed Canadian garbage and most likely, let's be real, left-leaning Canadian garbage. Because that's what helps Trudeau get more eyeballs, get more attention, just push more liberal shit. Now again, I get it, dude. I get the chess game. You're playing the games really well, dude. But we don't want to play the game. In fact, you're encroaching on dictatorship levels, so it's not gonna fly. Now, this bill clarifies that only entities making more than $10 million a year in revenue, those are the ones that are gonna have to register to be able to have their content seen in Canada and pay their fair share to Canada. But again, all these big podcasters like Joe Rogan, all these guys, they're going to say, fuck you, I'm not doing that, which means we're not going to be able to see their content in Canada. Netflix as well, they're going to say, we're not doing that. Google, we're not doing that. Facebook has already said, we're not playing that game. I don't know about you, but if you have TikTok and you play around on there, it's kind of weird lately how you're seeing more Canadian content, which is cool, but it's from people who have 0 followers, 0 likes. They're just the weirdest videos. They don't make any fucking sense. These videos would never have made it on the algorithm before. It's just people posting a video just of them going, hey, how's it going? I don't know, dude. I'm seeing all these weird videos that I would never have seen before, but lately I'm seeing more Canadian content, but it's bullshit. This goes against capitalism. It goes against the free market. Let these content creators, let these YouTubers, these podcasters fight against each other, right? The market will decide. Let the market decide who gets seen, who gets more popular. I don't want Trudeau telling me who I have to see, jamming this shit down my throat. If I want to see a Canadian content provider, an artist, music player, whatever, I'll see them when I see them. If they're good, I'll listen, I'll watch, whatever. If they're not, I won't. That's the free market. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's capitalism. Now, the reality is this kind of thing has always been in play. For example, CanCon since 1971 has had a rule where a certain amount of TV shows, TV streaming products, whatever, had to be Canadian. And we already kind of know that. If you were born in the 90s and we already kind of know that. For example, if you were a 90s kid, a millennial, and you heard these big smash hits on the radio in Canada, those weren't actually hits. If you go to America and you say oh, have you heard this song before? This song is in my head all the time when I was a 90s kid. They were like, who Who is that? What are you talking about? Bruh. Countries like Australia and Canada have always done this. We push our Canadian artists more on the radio, and a song that you think was like a worldwide hit, like nobody knows, dude. So it's cool. I get it. I get we're Canada first, but it's getting to a point now with going to the online stuff and what we can see on Google, who we can listen to, what news articles we can and can't see. Okay, now it's going to a whole new level. But even in that criteria they have of like pushing Canadian content, a certain amount of this movie must have been filmed in Canada or be edited by a Canadian, whatever. Even that is like a really muddy water. Like how much of it has to be Canadian, what defines it as Canadian enough. It's just getting too weird and it should just be dropped. Should just be the free market. So what's the consequence of all of this? What's the purpose of this video? What's the message? Just keep your head on a swivel. Just be informed, know what's going on, take in the right news that you want to see. And I don't think it's going to get to this point where we're just not going to be able to see anything from America. All the news will be banned. I don't think it's going to get to that point because that would be just the next level dictatorship. I don't think Canadians will allow it.
Even though I said the same thing during the pandemic
with wearing masks everywhere, there's no way Canadians will stand for this. And we did. So I don't know. I wouldn't be too surprised, but this is a whole new level. Now you're fucking with people's Netflix, bro. You're fucking with their downtime after work. Can't be messing with that. But all in all, if you want to escape this authoritarianism, this dictator bullshit, you need to have wealth. You need to have money. Now, this is a real estate investing and an investing channel. Of course, I'm going to end the video with this, but the only way to have true freedom this day and age is to have money, is to have wealth, to be able to pivot and move if you have to. For example, when all this kind of dictatorship went on during the pandemic, I had enough. I had enough of a stand for it, and we left to Florida. So literally days before the border closed into America, we went to Florida for a few months during the winter and came back when shit got a little better. And now we leave every single winter, and I have a home there that we bought. So if anything fucking happens, any crazy shit happens, I'm out of here. I'll file for citizenship. I have the wealth. I have the money to do that very easily if I wanted to. And this is the point. This is the point of all of this. You need to be investing. You need to be growing a business so you have the ability and the means and the money to move wherever you want, when you want, travel wherever you want. So when shit does get crazy, if Trudeau gets way more power than necessary, you can leave. You can take your money, take your assets, go to another country, and pivot. That's what this whole channel is about. That's what my whole life is about. It's just freedom. All I want is fucking freedom, to be left alone. Get your fucking hands out of my pocket to an extent. Just leave me alone. I'm like a fucking 80-year-old boomer. Get off my grass and just leave me alone. I just want to be left alone. But the only way you can be left alone is if you have money and wealth. So if you want to learn how to level up your life and have full control, you're sick of being an employee, you're sick of your boss telling you what to do, now Trudeau's telling you what to do, now you can't see what you want to see on Google, pretty soon Netflix and YouTube. Dude, that's enough of other people telling you how to live your life. If you're done with this bullshit, subscribe to this channel. I have hundreds and hundreds of videos teaching you how to invest in real estate, how to start a business, how to invest in stocks. It's the only fucking way to get your true freedom back. True north, strong and free? I don't know, dude. I don't see that anywhere. I'll see you in the next video.